All right, let's try this. We'll just go off the phone until I get this figured out. This should be halfway stable. You can let me know if it is or not. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's messed up. Supposed to have all this high-speed data back, and let me kill this. I can go to my Wi-Fi, and I'll get more data out of this. So, 1 second. That'll speed my phone up even faster. Let's see if anybody else joins us. The other day, David should probably come. A couple of them, Jesus, whatever his name, might come back. I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely a problem, but I never anticipated this happening. And there's fixing to be I'm assuming they're going to do a show tomorrow. I don't know. Can you hear me okay, by the way? Hello. Okay, cool. Anyway, the whole idea being, I was not expecting to need it this as quick as we do. So yeah, well, we're gonna keep going. Hopefully they get everything worked out at with him and all them. I don't know what's gonna happen, but welcome. You know, we have a guy in Inverted World. He's a numerology guy. He's trying to get on. But they kind of blow him off, it seems like. Not blow him off, but they let him talk some. Did you know it was only going to be an hour tonight? I didn't know that. That's bright. I figured they were going to say a few words about what happened. And then I'd figure they'd just go straight to calls. I had no idea they were just going to shut it down. Very, very strange. Well, welcome. We're all here from Inverted World. It went off there early tonight because of the Timcast pew situation they had earlier, and so we went on a little early tonight. Yeah, I mean, from what Tim said, they're not even really going to broadcast from there. Even in January, he mentioned going to Miami. So it looks like they're done shooting. I mean, they're done at that studio. Yeah. I don't know. Very, very, very strange. Seems like an overreaction. Um, but again, we don't know all the details behind it. But in Vegas, I don't know why they're all going to Vegas next week. I don't know what they. Maybe they're having some kind of big convention, some podcast convention or something. I have no idea. I need to go. Vegas is empty, so. Well, I mean, this is okay way to do it. It sure does limit our ability to show videos and stuff like that, though. That's kind of sucks, but we'll get through it. Because there is fixing to be a big vacuum. Unless you want to watch the normal crap, which I'm not. Hey, Haley. Or Hayla. How are you? Cool. Welcome. We are just chilling. Just talking about what's going on in the world. Yes, you do. We're gonna make if they go off there, we're just gonna continue making our own show, and I'm gonna dump some money into uh, trying to get my connection better. My home internet is such trash. I want to just call and cancel it, but I gotta find. It's just trash. Nah, we'll figure it out. We'll get this up and running. You are gonna have to. I mean, I'm gonna have help. Okay. Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't kill it then. I was just connecting my laptop. It won't even connect to my home. This home internet is such trash. I don't even know why we pay for it. I mean, the boy's in bed, so he's not on his no that headgear virtual reality crap. But yeah, I'm gonna go tomorrow. Whether I have to just run over there by myself and figure it out. Because I think we have a very unique opportunity for about a month until they figure out what they're going to do. Which does not what they do really ain't affecting what we're doing or what I'm doing, but I try not to compete. You know, I try and go on at a different time than they do. But going on at a different time, it's like that way I'm not trying to walk on anybody. But yeah, I totally agree. You know, I don't know. I can't do nothing until I get the stream, until I get the data fixed. You know, you think Milo, I mean, he's eccentric and he's strange. I mean, he might be limb alphabet numbers, CIA, FBI, whatever. You never know. He is a character. Definitely. Well, we can't do any video, but we can do the audio. I don't know what Erica Kirk said. I had it saved. I don't know what she said. She did an interview tonight with Sean Hannity a while ago. It's about a book they're putting out. It's Charlie's last book or something that he wrote. I don't know. You know, I can't say she's creepy because I don't want to. You know, I wouldn't want to say that, but it is. Because I don't know how I would react if I was in her shoes. You know, I was in her shoes. How would you react? Anything you do is going to be scrutinized by the public. And then you got Tim going after Candace, Candace going after Tim. They're both saying who benefits from it, who doesn't benefit from it. Right now, they're both benefiting from it. If you want to know the truth, you know, of course, she has a lot bigger show than he has. But either way, we're going to get on here. I'm going to get this other thing figured out, and we're going to go from there. So, because no telling what's going to happen over this little 2-week period that nobody's paying attention to, and everybody's doing the whole Christmas thing, and you know, when nobody's looking, that's when they, yeah. That or they're on TV and can't see chat, one or the other. If they're watching on TV, they can't see the chat. So if you're watching on TV and you pull it up on your phone, you're able to interact with everybody else. Or you can just watch. But I'm having some technical issues right now. And back down too, so that didn't last. Huh. What's up, David? Okay, I'm gonna play this. This is audio only, but
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
You'll be able to
just
hear
by
it
thinking about it. Meet Base 44. a complete AI creation platform.
You look at my ugly ass, and we'll just go with some audio for right now.
And
we are following a developing story that we have been tracking here for a little more than 24 hours.
I actually think criticizing Candace has hurt our viewership. That's my point. We actually got cancellations on orders.
After a shooting, gunshots fired there at the home of Tim Pool, who
My morning show subscribers have gone down.
of course is known as a big political commentator with millions upon millions of fans.
I've lost 3,000 followers on X.
On a different social media platform.
Hey guys, we need to talk about the Tim Pool drive-by shooting, because I put out a short about this, and then I really got to thinking about it, and I was like, man, I think I might have been wrong. And if I'm wrong, I need to promptly come and admit it. And there's something that is absolutely fishy about this attempted drive-by shooting at Tim Pool's place. Now, I understand that he has gates and he has security. So he says, at least. He says he has a whole security team. And that somebody drove up and started just popping off rounds, bro. You know, like this is like Compton in the 90s. Just doing a drive-by and everything. Which,
Okay, popping off rounds. Let's fix that real quick. There were 3 shots. 3.
who've been getting death threats, and you know what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but when you really take a look at this, some of these things just don't add up. 2 plus 2 should always equal 4, and to me, it just isn't getting there. So we're gonna take a dig into this, and I want to know what you guys think. So buckle up, because we're gonna be deep diving on this. Let's go. Fire. No one was hurt. And if this genuinely happened, thank God that nobody was hurt, right? Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to the appropriate law enforcement. Now, here's the thing that gets me. This is the thing that sort of like just kept bothering me over and over again, is there's no way in hell that there's going to be a drive-by shooting. Something that would be an attempted murder, something that could have killed somebody, one of his security team that he claims to have, himself, somebody in his family, and then they would report that to law enforcement, and law enforcement would be like, yeah, you know what you should do? You should have your security team look into it and get back to us with the report. That's not how that works, you guys. That's an insane claim to make. And the more that I thought about it, the more I realized that just doesn't add up. Now, I don't know how good of a security team he has, but unless they're Secret Service or FBI or CIA, there's...
Well, even Secret Service, FBI, CIA did not keep Trump from getting shot. It did not keep them from trying to shoot him again. So I don't care what kind of, or how good your security is, there's nothing, if you're in the public eye, you are in danger. Period.
Literally no way that local law enforcement is going to say, just have your security team handle it. Let us know the results they come up with. That's not how those things work at all whatsoever. Hey guys, so for a while now, I've been investing in buying silver. I think that like precious metals are always going to be one of the most solid
Oh, here we
investments
go with the
that you can possibly
commercials.
make. But lately, before the market read in the descriptions below, Tim went on to say, this is the price we paid for speaking out against evil. And like, I get that, because we saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. You know, we've seen the assassination attempts on Trump. We saw what happened with Benny Johnson. We've seen what's happened with me. I've been swatted 6 times. I have so many death threats that I report the credible ones to the FBI. And so I get that there are unhinged people out there. There are unwell people out there, mentally. We know that...
So is that what it just takes? A death threat, and then everybody's just going to quit? You're going to always have death threats. I'm surprised there ain't haters on here already. Jacking with me for being on here. I don't care. You're going to have haters. I know it's different when bullets start flying, but if they know they can shut you up just by threatening you, then they're never going to stop.
There are liberals out there who are so indoctrinated that they're going to call you a liberal and a fascist, and they use these things as a method to justify murdering you, because there's no good Nazi but a dead Nazi, or dead fascist type energy shit that they're pumping all the time. They're just so immersed in this little bubble of a reality where they all confirm each other's biases. And this is what they come to at the end of the day. Now, in another tweet, this next one after that, Tim said, "My immediate thoughts is that someone was trying to scare us, but we have a security gate and armed guards. It's possible that deterred from something more serious." And that very well could be true. Tim might be telling the truth on this. I'm not trying to kick the dude while he's down if this genuinely happened, but it just doesn't make sense to me that any self-respecting law enforcement agency would take a back seat to private security, regardless of your fence, homie, regardless of how good your security team is. And is Tim really big enough to have a full security detail? I mean, maybe a security guard. I mean, even Wes Watson has one of those, and we know that Tim Pool is doing way bigger things than old Wessie boy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get that maybe he has some form of security, but...
So is he saying, it sounds like he's saying that Tim's security said, "Oh, nothing to see here," and told him to go away. But that's not how it works once they call the cops out.
Definitely nothing that law enforcement agencies are going to rely on. And in fact, if they were to go ahead and create any type of report, they could fuck up the evidence. They could tamper evidence that's absolutely necessary. There's a certain chain of custody and command when it comes to evidence. And if somebody breaks that chain of command, it can get thrown out of court in a literal heartbeat. We've seen it over and over and over again.
It's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason?
Because they killed Charlie Kirk in broad daylight and we don't care about your stupid midterms. How can my brand appear in AI search? How can...
We don't care about, okay, I'm not arguing with that owner, but we don't care about the stupid midterms. Yeah, people do care about the midterms. I mean,
Getting to why.
I kind of agree with her too, but at the same time, there's parts that I don't agree with. Yeah, it's very sus. You know, I've been thinking he's going to bail for a long time. Yeah, I'm not black-pilled enough. I think he's been planning on bailing for about a year. And I think this is just kind of all coming to a head. Now, if he sells the compound, sells out, now he's had a kid. You know, he can sit home, make videos by, you know, like I'm making a video right now, whatever. Except he'll get thousands and thousands of watchers. And he'll still make money. And the name of this video was Tim Pool shooting a publicity stunt, by the way. That's why I looked at it. We are. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Why would Tim Pool do that? Why would he fake a drive-by? Like, it seems a little insane and unhinged, you know, a little victim complexy. Well, the reason that somebody would do that is because it gets you clout. It gets you a certain level of virality. You know, it's going to get you views. It's going to give you content. It's going to build you up in the algorithms of social media if you have something like that happen to you. You know, a lot of people had a conspiracy theory, and still do, that shooting that happened, that got Trump in the ear, wasn't real, that it was all a psyop, and it was designed to help him get votes. You know, the shot got fired. He got clipped in the ear. He came up with his fist in the air, pumping, yelling, fight, fight, fight. True, just like cinematic American moment. Almost a little too cinematic. And then his ear seemed to heal really quickly, but he went way up in the polls right after that. Like, that assassination attempt definitely gave him a lot of leverage and a lot of ground. And it's the same thing in the social media realm. It's the same thing when you have something crazy like that happen to you. It can
So he's basically saying, or questioning if it was just a stunt to get attention, notoriety, make his company more valuable. I mean, what if the Daily Wire come in tomorrow and bought all of Timcast? Then how would everybody feel? You know, or Fox News, or whoever.
definitely get you a lot of clicks, a lot of views. It can make you seem like a martyr who's willing to sacrifice himself for the truth. Like he said at the end, this is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. It could be something like that, or it could have been an actual incident. I'm not sure. And I want to make it very clear, if this actually happened to Tim, I 100% support him. I don't agree with the man on it.
Well, I think it definitely happened. I mean, the fact there's no police report, that is weird. That's the only part that gets me. Okay, this is called
My
Trump's
energy bill dropped from $150.
$12 million counterpunch. Let's see what this is about. This is done by Matt Morse. I'll get through the boring stuff if I can and get right to the story.
Just dropped an absolutely massive surprise announcement that frankly has many of the United States' biggest adversaries absolutely scrambling. You see, as I'm sure you all know, numerous other countries around the world have pretty much been hell-bent on picking our country apart for decades now. They've been illegally invading our country, they've been flooding our country with deadly narcotics, and many of them have been engaging in economically predacious behavior, to say the least. But what if I told you that many of these countries have actually been intentionally flooding the United States of America with cheap agricultural products in order to deliberately destroy the American agricultural sector? Well, not only have they been doing this, but they've also been willingly losing money in the process, deliberately undercutting American farmers, ultimately trying to run them out of business. And
That's them damn Canadians. We'll blame this on Canada.
the reason why is because what they want is a weak, dependent America, an America that can't even take care of itself, or in this case, feed itself.
Now, what happened to, remember when you were a kid, what they call it, America is the breadbasket of the world. We feed the world. Now we do is feed people processed shit. Dog food. Hell, I wouldn't feed it to my dog. So,
Now, to many of you, I'm sure this entire situation is going to sound very familiar because this is exactly what's happened with American manufacturing over the last 35 years. We shipped all of our manufacturing jobs overseas, we became entirely dependent on foreign manufacturing, and ultimately, we became totally unable to manufacture anything for ourselves. And of course, in early 2021, just 4 years ago, we all saw just how catastrophic that dynamic really is. Remember all the shortages we had of medical supplies and toilet paper, for instance? Well, what did China say when we came knocking on their door asking for assistance in the middle of the pandemic? Pretty much, they told us to go kick rocks. Sorry, America, you're on your own. And so really, when you stop and think about it, this is an absolutely massive national security threat, which is why President Trump is not only actively trying to bring back American manufacturing, but now he's also trying to prevent some of these predatory foreign countries, like China, for instance, from also hollowing out our agricultural sector as well. Which
Well, then he needs to get a hold of the seed companies and the, oh, what's that big company? They bioengineer all the seeds, genetic modification, to where if you take a stalk of corn or a ear of corn and take the seed out of that corn, it will not grow a plant. Monsanto, thank you. Yeah, then jump your ass up Monsanto's ass. Because they're part of the problem.
Which is why, just earlier today, President Trump announced his brand new $12 billion plan to prevent this from happening. Take a look.
Delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election. Because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs. You'd be sitting here losing your shirt. But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott. Because the real numbers, you know, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new oil.
Okay, well, where's all this money going? I mean, I like Trump, voted for Trump. I'm a Trump fan. But all this billions and billions and millions of dollars coming to the country, all this money coming to where is it going? It's not hitting my pocket. It's not hitting your pocket. Has my ham for Thanksgiving was $48. Ooh, the price of eggs are fixed. Great. I got chickens. I didn't even need that shit. I have my own fucking eggs. Nothing else has gone down. Gasoline, maybe a little bit. Yeah. They gotta sell their gasoline. They need their money. Not that I'm saying he's a bad guy. I'm saying they hadn't done what they said they're gonna do. This deportation bullshit, they're not deporting near enough people. Go to Minnesota and round up all them damn Somalians and get them the hell out of here. Get them off Medicaid. Get them off food stamps. But trillions of dollars coming in, billions of dollars coming in. Well, where's it going? You're welcome to comment.
Oil plants and all of the other things, AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me, because you know, based on voting trends, you could go.
Well, I need to go be a fucking farmer, because then maybe I'll get a check then. But I don't believe that either. I don't believe that either.
Go with voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country.
And of course, our farmers really are the backbone of our country. Which is why, as we said earlier, our agricultural sector has been specifically and deliberately targeted by numerous hostile nations. Because ultimately, what...
Okay. And also, if they're so worried about the damn farming industry, why do they keep selling all the land to Bill Gates for? Why are you clearing all the farmland to build data centers? Taking up all the water. I mean, the speech is good, but it really don't mean much.
What they want to do is destroy our capacity to take care of ourselves here in the United States of America, even at the most basic level, like growing food. And now, to give you guys a better idea of really exactly what's been going on, I've got another clip I want you all to take a look at. But first, I do want to say real fast that if you folks enjoy the daily news updates, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton. But okay, check this out.
But us in the South are really struggling. I mean, this is not just a crisis. I would say it's almost a market dynamics that really are true anti-competitive nature, right? So it follows what you sent out this weekend. And we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
You want more? I mean,
well, they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
Again, tariffs great, but they're not going nowhere. All right, let's see this one. I'm gonna look at this Monsanto. Let's see if this is worth the damn checking out. Again, I wish I could play it for you. I might try and go back up again in a little while. Maybe it'll be better, but this is about how they control our food.
Imagine a world where the building blocks of life, DNA, can be edited like text in a document, where the food on your plate has been transformed not by nature, but by human hands, in labs far from farms. This isn't science fiction. It's the story of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, a global revolution that began in a petri dish and exploded across more than 200 million hectares of farmland. But is it safe? Who controls it? And what does it mean for the future of your food? To understand GMOs, we must go back, way back. Long before the term genetic engineering existed, ancient farmers were practicing their own kind of genetic manipulation, selective breeding. Corn, for example, evolved from a grass called teosinte through centuries of careful cultivation. But this slow generational process gave way to something far more powerful in 1950.
That's more of a history lesson. But yeah, Monsanto, I mean, they control from seed to finish everything, including what fertilizers it has to sustain it. So I think they're oh yeah. I mean, they're as to blame for everything as the other countries. Just looking for a reason to fight. Officer Tatum is reporting Tim Pool quits the show. Huh. All right, let's give this a listen for a second.
A bunch of people in this office.
Again, this is Officer Tatum.
We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL.
Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you subscribe to the Officer Tatum Show and the Officer Tatum channel. And message me if you want to ask me a question at Brandon@freedomchat.com. That's Brandon@freedomchat.
And by the way, we were talking about this way before he did, so we're even ahead of these guys. And one thing I've noticed is we're ahead on a lot of crap. They're usually an hour or two behind us on a lot of the news. Well, that's true, but who really gives a shit about Africa? You couldn't give me a plane ticket to go to that hellhole.
.com. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Tim Pool says the unthinkable. And I'm being honest, like, I think that if what Tim Pool is saying comes to fruition, or he's truthfully examining this, this is a big deal. Let's roll the clip so you can hear it. He's got one of the biggest podcasts online, period, out of any genre. They do $1 million in super chats. I mean, he probably has, or at least he had, probably one of the top podcasts. And if what he said is true, that's a big problem, like him or not. Roll the clip.
So where does it leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of... So where does it leave us? We have 2 weeks
Wasn't
left
me,
in
that
the
was
year
him. He
before we
jumped.
go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing, it is grueling, of course. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably gonna have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two, the holidays, and But we have to have these conversations, and I have them with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear: the violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo.
That's true.
Something has to change.
He did hire him.
It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say, we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL Studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in.
That's interesting.
That's
see?
just that breaking point, isn't it, for any business?
Wow.
If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue, the cost isn't cameras or lights.
China has millions
the cost
of
is
Chinese.
security because
Millions.
of the escalation. It's an artificial cost to doing business that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So I've had some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution, and it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're going to have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency
Well, I'd say rapid change. They only let Inverted World go for an hour. So basically automatic changes.
meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL. We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and disillusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is the safety of my family, myself, and there are many ideas we're floating around. I lost $50,000 because
I didn't watch the full episode, but this is the part I heard. There's a lot of things going through my mind right now. I'm going to save some of those things for a later date. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite campaign of the year. I've been waiting all...
Well, that's what he had to say about it. I don't know. I just saw he had it up and I thought I'd check it out. It says 90,000 Somalians out by dawn as Trump troops empty Minneapolis. We'll see. UK is asshole. China is asshole. Yes, I totally agree. Luigi Mangione flashes fist pump in a pretrial hearing. Huh. Well, here's that I was going to play earlier, but we'll go ahead and play it now.
Our whole team is all stuck together.
I can't see it.
Mike's taking a million
Right.
videos over there. Before we talk about the book, which is really, I think, can transform people's lives. How are you doing? How are the kids?
Imagine being able to build anything.
Hell yeah, I love Super Soakers. We used to take towels and 5-gallon buckets of water and just drench the towel and throw them at each other.
Good expect. God is good, and we have the most amazing Turning Point USA family. They've rallied around myself, my children, and chosen family is everything. And then of course we're blessed with our family itself. But people like you, Ainsley, it's priceless. It's priceless.
I think
go
Turning
through this
Point's
period
in
and
bad
you have
trouble.
The shock of something like this happen.
Right.
We all try to relate to people. I don't know if you really could relate to this. And then all of a sudden, there are moments where you just like the reality hits you. He's not coming home.
Right. The permanency, I will always struggle with the permanency. It's the love of my life. I still talk to him every single day as if when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm getting ready to go to bed, when I'm just going about my day, I still feel him so much with me. And I just, again, the permanency will never settle.
We talked a little about this on radio.
Yeah, I can't take that. That is a strange. That is a very strange. I don't want to say reaction. I don't know what you would call it. Very, very strange. Oh, have y'all heard about 6G coming out? And 6G supposedly is worse than 5G. Check this out. You can hear the audio anyway.
My energy bill dropped from $150.
Blew me out. Damn.
They thought I got scammed. But when I showed them,
because of massive health concerns, remember how they warned governments that we absolutely should not deploy this technology until we study the long-term effects on human beings? Well, let me read it for you. We, the undersigned scientists, recommend a moratorium on the rollout of the 5th generation 5G until potential hazards for human health and the environment have been fully investigated by scientists independent from industry. 5G will substantially increase exposure to radio frequency, like electromagnetic fields, RF, EMF, and has been proven to be harmful for humans and the environment. Yeah, well, they blew right past that. They didn't give a hoot about it. They ignored the scientists. They rolled it out anyway. And now,
I'm on
without
5G
addressing
right now.
one single of those concerns, they're preparing to unleash something far more powerful, far more invasive, and potentially far more dangerous. So here today, I wanted to break down exactly what this technology is, how it works, why governments and corporations are racing to deploy it right now, and why, once again, experts and scientists are sounding the alarm about its risks, from cybersecurity to surveillance to national security to human health. Like across the board, they're criticizing this. Because once you understand what 6G actually does, you'll understand why this isn't just like another tech upgrade, like some guy up on a tower just like upgrading a transformer. It will be a transformation of human life and possibly a threat to it, in the very same way that mRNA vaccines change millions of lives. So what is 6G exactly? So let's start
that's
with
creepy.
some of the basics. 6G is the 6th generation of the cellular network technology, the thing that's supposed to replace 5G, of course, that's the obvious part. But unlike previous upgrades, the jump from 5G to 6G is actually massive. 6G will operate on frequencies far higher than anything used today. It's extremely tight. It's like laser-like beams of energy that can deliver unimaginable data speeds near zero latency. Now,
There's your laser beams, Synchron. You're talking about using lasers to send data the other day.
I've spoken to sources who've worked for these companies, and they've told me their business plan is to basically eliminate your need for Wi-Fi in your home. Like, you won't need to call up Comcast. You won't need to call up any other providers because 6G will just be all around you. Why would you pay for Comcast?
It does sound good, especially with what I'm dealing with, but yeah.
It's going to be super fast, so no need to get Xfinity in your home. No need to have a router in your home. That's the plan. I've seen the documents, and I've talked to the techs who are actually building this out. So here's the major difference, though, between 5G and 6G. 6G will be AI native, of course. So everything's AI, right? Artificial intelligence won't be just an add-on. It will be built into the network at every level. The system will make real-time decisions. It'll reroute traffic. It'll identify patterns. And by the way, it'll self-heal itself without a single human being even being involved in it. Skynet, I guess, right? So this network becomes autonomous. So in other words, this is the first time in history that we are creating a communication system that actually thinks for itself and heals itself. So how does this 6G actually work? Well, let's break this down. 5G runs mostly on sub-G, 6 gigahertz, right, some millimeter wave frequencies. 6G leaps into the terahertz spectrum, roughly 100 times faster than 5G. But those frequencies can't travel far. They get blocked by, like, cement walls, trees, even humidity blocks it. Good luck, Florida. So how do you actually blanket an entire country or the entire planet with something that barely travels and humidity gets in the way? Well, the answer is both ingenious and actually pretty terrifying. They're using reconfigurable intelligence surfaces. These are walls, windows, street signs,
What's up, Patrick?
everyday objects that are turned into active components of the network, capable of redirecting wireless signals like mirrors. In fact, one of the techs I spoke to about this said, just imagine walking down the street and every stop sign you see, every telephone pole you see, or every other metal pole you see right outside of your apartment would have one of these like 6G components on it. In other words, the environment becomes the network, with massive antenna grids, thousands, even millions of synchronized micro antennas that can track and beam signals directly to you with extreme precision. And 6G doesn't just broadcast, it actually targets, it actually shapes like the signal around you. And then, by the way, it follows you wherever you go. It adjusts itself automatically based on your environment, your movement, and your behavior. This is why surveillance experts are sounding the alarm, as you can imagine. 6G isn't just about faster
That's what I heard.
It's about the creation of a constantly sensing, constantly tracking digital ecosystem. So more about this AI native part of it, because it's important. AI changes everything, and 6G will, number one, predict your movement, anticipate traffic flow, detect behavioral anomalies, like we've been covering this, right? Oh, this person's like antisocial. This person doesn't leave their house on a regular basis. We should flag that. Maybe he's a terrorist. It'll also enforce automated restrictions. It'll also integrate with that digital ID system, of course. And it'll make split-second decisions without any human oversight.
Well, how does that sound to y'all? Sounds scary as shit to me. Yep, synchronized. You got the word of the day, dude. It's gonna flow around you. I wonder what's gonna do your DNA, your RNA.
So this becomes the nervous system of like a hyper-connected society. Every camera, every sensor, every vehicle, every appliance in your home, every wearable, like every medical device, all feeding data into a single unified intelligent network. So 6G isn't just faster, it's aware of everything that you're doing. And that raises some serious concerns. So when will 6G actually arrive? Well, right now 6G is in research and development. Tests began back in 2020. Prototypes are already being deployed worldwide. Most experts predict, though, a full commercial launch by the year 2030. So just 5 years away. But here's the truth. You're already being exposed to early versions of this technology. And the dangers aren't hypothetical, they're actually happening right now. Let's look at 3 of the biggest risks according to early data. Take a look at this. We kind of broke this down in this piece. Number 1, data privacy basically collapses. So 6G will connect billions more devices than 5G ever could. That means your location, your biometrics, your shopping habits, your health data, your household devices, your movement patterns.
Nobody.
All of it being tracked in real time and all analyzed by AI, and then all stored somewhere that you'll never see. This is like surveillance on steroids. So when you see this new network you're opting into, you get zero privacy. Number 2, nation state.
You got zero privacy anyway already. That TV's watching me, that smart TV's watching me, the stupid phone watching me, the laptop in front of me is watching me. Probably the damn refrigerator's watching. So if you think you have privacy now, you're sadly mistaken anyway, but we'll see what he's got to say.
Cyber warfare. With 6G, cyber warfare shifts from hacking computers to disabling entire societies. Think about it. Hospitals, power grids, financial systems, transportation networks, military operations, everything becomes a target. And then with those terahertz speeds, attacks happen faster than humans can even respond to it. Then, number 3, government abuse, because the government never abuses us.
So basically what he's describing is you turn on 6G, you're turning on Skynet, basically. Built-in AI makes decisions faster than humans. Humans will not control it. So you're turning on Skynet. Why don't they just come out and say that? I mean, they ain't got to name it that, but that's what it is. No, I didn't know. I figured cash was still pretty safe. Not surprising.
That's right. But this is all going to be part of it. This is the most predictable threat of all, of course. With 6G, governments could have real-time citizen tracking, which is what they want. They want behavioral mapping, which is what they're rolling out right now in Gaza, as we covered here on the show with Palantir. They've automated law enforcement.
Ah, Palantir. Does that name ring a bell to anybody? Peter Thiel, isn't that his name? Isn't he Palantir? The guy that helped put J.D. Vance in power? Could be wrong. She's going to explain the algorithm pricing to you, and I'm going to go ahead and play the article.
Pre-crime detection. Like, oh, Clayton hasn't left the house in a few days. Maybe he's plotting a terrorist act or something.
Precog. Now, where do they already have precog crime? Europe.
Social credit score? You know, you've traveled too much and your carbon footprint is too much, so we don't think you should be allowed to buy gasoline for the next month because you traveled too much to see grandma 4 hours away. And then it'll also have a seamless digital ID enforcement.
Well, you won't have to worry about traveling to see grandma, because if they have their choice, grandma will be dead. That way they don't have to pay grandma her Social Security or any Medicare benefits. So you'll make one trip to go bury grandma and then you'll go back home.
All of it. This is the next level of control. This network makes this possible, and it's frankly unprecedented. Look at this new article from CNET just published. which experts.
You know, I was going to call in too tonight. I was ready to call in if they were going to do a call-in section. I thought I'm going to call in just to lighten things up a little bit. Talk about the security risks, all the things that's going on. And I thought, well, I'll set up for this. I went ahead and lined everything up, the articles and all that. Little did I know I wouldn't have any data to use. So I had a stream from my phone tonight. But, yeah, it's crazy. Wow, that's not surprising, Renee.
Warn that 6G will blur the line between private life and public monitoring. So every device, every room, every street, every building, all part of like one enormous sensing network that never turns off. This isn't just connectivity, it's environmental surveillance. I guess we all need to move to like Montana or the woods of Wyoming at this point. Because once the system is deployed, there's no opting out. Like, even if you don't have a 6G phone, it doesn't matter. You'll be walking right through this network every day. Again, unless you live, I guess, in remote Alaska or Wyoming, where they don't even have cell phone service. Now, here's where it gets even more suspicious, though, because the World Health Organization has
sure
not
did.
updated its position since 2011, before 5G even
That's
existed,
why I've
let
got to
alone
go
6G.
tomorrow.
They claimed back then that there was no health risk, and they've simply refused to revisit that conclusion at all. That's because the WHO is wildly corrupt, of course.
You know, I'm about taking my laptop with me and making them turn it on and actually connecting me to see what kind of rate it's going to get before I even buy it. I don't know if they'll do that or not, though.
I spoke to a doctor from the WHO who told me, don't believe anything they say. He worked for the WHO. Meanwhile, independent scientists, medical researchers, epidemiologists, environmental health experts all continue to raise red flags about the constant exposure to these high-frequency fields. But instead of studying it, governments are pushing 6G at full speed ahead. Why? Well, we're going to dig into that with our next guest, who's been warning about these health consequences for years and has been studying this for years. Kim Bright is the founder of Brightcore, and she's back on the show. Kim, welcome to the show. Great to see you.
Well, great to see you too, and what a subject, huh? This is a terrifying subject where every move is going to be monitored, documented, and analyzed. And it's not just what we're doing, Clayton, but what the system thinks that we're likely to do next. This is something.
So if you're in the shower or you're bumping uglies, they're going to be able to basically tell everything you're doing. Everything. I think Tim's been done for a while. I think he's just been looking for the exit. I've been saying, and I've been telling Renee and Thinkatron, I've been thinking he's going to leave for a while. We've been talking about this for months. Maybe it's the family, the baby. That's funny. I don't know why. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, but maybe he just wants out. You know, he was bitching tonight not being able to go to the skate park and do anything. Maybe he's made all the money he needs to make and he's getting out, just like a good drug dealer. You know, a good drug dealer gets in, makes his money, and gets the hell out of the game. It's the ones that want to stay in and keep playing, they're the ones that get in trouble. I don't know who Kim Bright is. She's a founder of Brightcore Nutrition, which means nothing to me. But I think we get the idea behind what's going on with 6G. Pretty scary. Okay, over on Tucker, they did a John Leake story, The Demonic Rituals to Replicate God and Mankind's New Religion of Science. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I figured out a little trick last night I didn't know about, and I did it totally by accident, creating a short, and I stuck a couple of them together by accident, and I was like, wait a minute. Anyway, it was total accident, but yeah, I like the way it worked out. So I'll definitely be doing more of those. Alright, Synctron. See you later, dude. Have a good day tomorrow. Hopefully you will see me with a badass, flawless, motion picture type stream tomorrow night. We will see. Uh-oh. Almost dropped my phone. Look and see who that was. It's Matt Walsh.
And you're trafficking drugs, and you're doing this, which obviously our CIA has been engaged in trafficking. I mean, you could almost argue that that's what they were put together to do, the deep state. How does that work? Like, would you then have random military planes that are coming in and following people? And
here's what I was playing when
my
it
imagination would be that probably
play a while ago. You can hear the audio
the
anyway.
opportunity always exists when there's a really big event, right? Because people don't question when there's tons of trucks coming in. Like if it's a Taylor Swift concert, no one's going to question if there's tons of jets that are coming in and there's tons of trucks that are coming in. You just go, this must all be for the big show. Like Super Bowl would be a great event, the opportunity for people to traffic. And companies that have a lot of events would probably provide a pretty sound opportunity for people who are interested in those sorts of things to do that. I'm thinking about that now a lot. What's happening on the Operation Mockingbird 2.0 side is now they are all blaming me for the upcoming midterms. We're not going to win midterms. Like, we're not even close to that right now, but when that happens, it's definitively going to be Candace's fault. It's so ridiculous. I couldn't care less. Tim Pool has been one of these people that is crying a lot. So he hosted Milo Yiannopoulos on his show, and first and foremost, he called all of you stupid. He said, he explicitly said, I am saying that people that watch your show are stupid because they're not accepting the Fed slop, and that they will not just eat the Fed slop that we are trying to give them. And then it was funny because later on in the show, he kind of lamented the fact that he lost a bunch of subscribers to his show because he attacked me, even though I never attacked him back. But he didn't put two and two together, which would imply that that means that people who are watching your show were also watching my show. So you're calling your own fans stupid, which is probably why they unsubscribed. Regardless of that, Milo Yiannopoulos breaks down the real reason why people are upset, the real reason that if we lose midterms, who we should be pinning the blame on. And he's come up with a way more compelling understanding, which is how we're all feeling. The person to blame if Trump loses midterms, if Republicans lose midterms, might be Republicans. It might be Trump. Here is what Milo had to say, and I will add that he is sitting also with George Santos, who joined them. Take a listen.
Jeffrey Epstein, as Bannon has said, and who would know better than him, it turns out.
You're going to quote Bannon, who consulted for Epstein?
I just said who would know better than him, as it turns out.
I just want to make that very clear for everybody listening.
I just said who would know better, as it turns out. He said that Epstein was the key that fixed the lock, right? Of all of the kinds of things people are asking, like, what is going on here? Why is this like this? And why is it? Epstein was one of the central ideological planks of MAGA teleology. Like, why does the world work like it does? Why do things look weird? Why do those people keep getting away with it and those people keep not getting away with it? Jeffrey Epstein was considered by everybody who voted for Donald Trump as a central pillar of understanding that we would unlock, and it would be like a code where some bits of the universe would get like decoded for us. Like, oh my goodness, it's because of that judge. It's because of that. Everybody had that expectation, and there isn't one person who voted for Donald Trump who did not want and did not expect the Epstein files to be released immediately.
I did not have that expectation. I did not vote for
Okay,
Trump.
fine. Everybody except George.
No, that's not true.
Of course.
There's so many people. I voted for Trump for many other reasons.
Stop it.
Where'd this guy come from? I mean, I know he's a flamboyant gay. But where does he get all his information from?
And when stop it, grow up.
Do you think that puts food on the table?
Grow up.
Oh, come on.
It's about egg prices. Stop it.
Come on.
Part of the reason that Trump was elected
Yeah.
in 2016 was that Hillary Clinton was emblematic of the way that the world was going wrong. The secret elite collusion, Epstein, it was all linked. And people who voted for him the first time and people who voted for him every time since, you can't find me someone apart from George, apparently, who did not want to see the Epstein files.
Let me ask you.
And I promise I'll wrap up and let someone else go. But when he said, there's no Epstein files, and then the Democrats made it up, and then stop asking, and then if you're asking, you're not a fan of mine, and then if you're asking, I don't want you.
I agree with all of this.
That is the moment Trumpism died.
I agree.
And don't we need a reckoning? And if that reckoning comes through the obviously, I promise I'm nearly done, the obviously inadequate account from the feds and Turning Point about what happened around, before, and after Charlie Kirk's death, where his ride or die homegirl is asking questions that have exposed some inconsistencies and some questions, and which seem to point to a different etiology for the crime than the one that we're being told. And when everybody from Turning Point looks so sinister, suspicious, and guilty all the time, and they're losing to her. Respect the public on that at least.
Now, he is right on that point. They do look sinister. They don't look like they're telling the truth. I'm not saying they are or they're not. I'm saying what it looks like. It is sketchy, to say the least.
Losing to her, and they have every reason to be winning.
So
she has every reason. Isn't it smart for us to have that reckoning in the Republican Party right now?
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this?
Amen. All of that, okay? All of that. And what I really like that he says there is respect the public on that. At the very least, respect the public, okay? We are voting right now. We are voting with our eyes. We are voting in terms of when we say, I don't want to listen to this podcaster because they're trying to get me to eat this Fed slop. This is how we're voting. I mean, so many people are going down. It's like something about the Charlie Kirk assassination. We're looking around and we're going, guys, are you really going to try to impart this operation upon us where you go, if we keep saying it, eventually the public will accept it. They'll just eat the Fed slop. And we're looking around and we're going, wow, I thought this person was a good guy. I'm feeling like this right now. I'm like, I really actually trusted this person. Man, I've worked with that person. I've collabed with that person. They're joining this side? You too? You too? You too? And the public is saying, no, there's not enough influencers that you can pay, okay, that is going to convince me that Charlie ate enough salad to stop at 30.6. Respect the public on that, and they won't. They seem to not be doing it. They're like, nope, we just need more. It's more dollars that need to be spent, more.
I don't know. Strange times, guys. Very, very strange times. Nick Fuentes says he believes the FBI on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, be safe, Patrick. You can be traveling tomorrow because that solar flood. I don't know if that solar storm's hit yet or not. Ooh, it looks just like what I made. All right, let's see what Steve Turley's saying.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Rivers.
Everything's easy. So easy to make $1 million. So easy to get 1 million followers.
It's changing everything we thought we knew about the 2026 midterms. For months, the legacy media has been feeding you a steady diet of Democrat victories or polls showing massive leads, and analysts predicting a blue wave. News anchors confidently declaring that Republicans are finished heading into 2026. But something just happened. Something huge. Something that's about to send shockwaves through every Democrat campaign office in America, and it's only about to get worse. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your major professor, enjoying yet another wonderful day in President Trump's golden age that you made possible. Pollsters from 2024 just released their latest generic congressional ballot, and it's an absolute bombshell. Republicans are up 4 points over the Democrats. It's Republicans 45, Democrats 41. When you add in independents who lean toward one party or the other, the margin holds. Republicans 48, Democrats 44. Now, this isn't some random outlier. This is the same polling outlet, RMJ, that nailed 2024 while so many other pollsters were flat out wrong. I mean, these are the very same pollsters who are desperately trying to convince us right now that the Democrats are shoo-ins for the midterms. But like 2024, it's simply not happening. Take a look at the latest Harvard-Harris poll for Trump. He's 5 points higher than he was last month, almost at 50%. He's at 48. Always remember, presidential approval is a key predictive indicator for the midterms. Presidents with approval ratings down in the low 40s and below, which is very common for a second year of an administration, they tend to lose upwards of 30-plus seats in the midterms, while presidents with approval ratings around the 50% mark, while they still may lose, they lose by a lot less. What's happening here with this latest from RMG, and the reason why it's such a bombshell in terms of the generic approval, or who you're going to be voting for, is that it's showing that the Republicans have a clear path to hold the House in 2026. And that's because it's indicative, or it's representative of 2 R's that I want you to remember: redistricting and registration. Redistricting and registration. So this RMG poll...
Yeah, it's the same old song and dance. We went through that in Texas. They redistricting. Everybody was pissed off about it. But like Renee says, up north, you got all of New York State. 90% of it's red. You got one little dot that's blue, but it makes the whole state blue.
Smart founders know something most people
Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's see what she's going off about.
I am accusing. But we don't have to accuse one another. I want you to respond to what you have done in terms of insulting people, yelling at people, and then saying,
I'd like for you to respond for that.
I don't-
No, you can respond to that.
I don't insult
people. You do, and the way you question, and you're accusing me right now.
Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you subscribe to the Austin Tatum Show and the Austin Tatum channel. And the votes. But somehow she's on 60 Minutes. She look evil to me. I don't know what it is. Roll the clip.
It wasn't a decision that I came to lightly, but it was a very important decision for myself and also for my family.
it was sudden.
It was sudden, but a lot of things changed. I stood for women who were raped when they were 14 years old, and the president that I fought for 5 years called me a traitor for that. And so that changed the landscape of things.
So I'm going to ask you straight out. Did you surrender? Did Donald Trump run you out of town?
Yes.
No, not at all. Actually, Leslie, it's more like this, is I said in my statement, I will be no one's battered wife, and I meant it. And I won't allow the system to abuse me anymore.
You really feel abused. You know, he did come after you pretty hard. He called you a lunatic, I'm quoting. He said all she does is complain in caps, and then he called you a traitor. So he hit you, whacked you.
Yes, he did this in the same time span where President Trump brought in the Al-Qaeda leader that was wanted by the U.S. government, who is now the president of Syria. Then within a week, he brought in the Crown Prince, MBS, who murdered an American journalist. And then he brought in the newly elected Democrat Socialist mayor of New York. That was the time span that he called me a traitor.
You know, and all that, the one that pissed me off the most, him giving that guy a pardon, whatever. The government's been involved in bringing drugs in this country since the very beginning. Him meeting with that Mundami guy, whatever the hell his name is, a piece of shit from New York. Why did he even, I wouldn't even entertain that dude. I wouldn't have given him the platform. And I'd be running Omar out of town too, which he's working on that as well, supposedly. They supposedly going to do a lot of shit they don't do, except get elected.
All right, let's put this in perspective. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. She's such a fake individual. I don't know how people can't see Marjorie Taylor Greene. These people turn like chameleons, man. When they think it's expedient to do this, they own there. This lady has been trashing the.
I don't know much about the lady besides that. Well, do we know if we're going to have a inverted world tomorrow night or not? Either way, I'm going to get a new router tomorrow of some kind, if all goes well, and we'll be back on here for sure. Except maybe we'll be able to pull up the articles and stuff like I want to pull up for you. Yeah, I don't have a clue either. I don't know if they're doing Timcast tomorrow night. So, don't know. I guess we'll know tomorrow night about 7 or 8 o'clock, whatever time, here or there, whatever time zone you're in. Liberal hive mind. Oh, I didn't see this. She was on with Russell Brand.
fight, flight. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go run towards Charlie if he gets thought troubled me. The entire community came out against this guy. He ended up having a mental breakdown because he couldn't understand how everyone that he trusted was gaslighting him and doing all these things. But in that chapter, it speaks about how after he died, the very people that drove him crazy rushed to eulogize him. It's one of their tactics. They need to control the legacy, and it's a way for them to deal with their guilt. And so when I saw, because of my mindset, having studied Sigmund Freud, but when I saw Bibi rush, it's very strange to me. It was just weird. You know, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, you've got a lot going on. You're busy. You seem busy. I know, like, busy. And you're doing Fox News hits and another, like, it just, to people, looked a little suspicious, okay? And so I think that people are now trying to think this is like the cult of Candace. No, I'm actually just addressing what everybody's feeling and seeing. Yeah. And they're like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, we're all thinking this is kind of weird, right? Like, that's not normal. Exactly. And then they're like, how dare anybody voice how the majority of people around the world are feeling about this not feeling organic, the grief not seeming organic from Turning Point USA executives. I felt that way too,
I can
right?
give you another thing on that, is that when I was in the middle of, like, when I said in the UK, don't vote, is pointless, because one party governs it anyway, right? When I said that, there was like so much energy, so much power around it, I couldn't believe it. This was it's 2015, so it was an earlier incarnation of the online space. And when I knew I'd hit a nerve and said things, and people were like, yeah, that's what I feel, that's what we feel, we all feel that. The mistake I made was, yes, I am important. That's how I interpreted that information. And like, I mustn't do.
Russell Brand is such a character. He was so good playing Arthur. He played him perfect. Very good flick if you had never seen it. They're standing around a kitchen area. I hadn't seen this interview. Again, this is Russell Brand shows, not Candace's. They're in, look like her kitchen. He's very theatrical. Yeah, it's on Russell Brand's show. It's Candace Owens' brutally honest take on Turning Point USA. Now, it's on YouTube, but it has a Rumble stamp, so I don't know if Russell Brand had gone totally Rumble or how that works. But it came out 8 hours ago. Oh, here's Kimmel an hour ago. Let's see what his
So with the introduction of materials
little
like
shtick is.
Zerk had
joining us here. Please have a seat. We're in Hollywood. The award season and the norovirus are officially upon us again. You know, we'll be handing out awards every weekend for the next 3 months here, starting this morning with the nominees for the Golden Globes, and last night they handed out the Kennedy Center honors in Washington, hosted by Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the host of the show. He's been boasting about hosting, saying we've never had a president host the Kennedy Center honors before, which, yeah, why do you think that is? We've also never had Neil Patrick Harris order a military strike on a fishing boat before. Trump was obviously very excited to headline this once prestigious event. He even waddled the red carpet where he was all fired up.
How have you prepared to host tonight? Well, maybe I haven't prepared. Maybe you want to be a little bit loose. If you look at the great hosts, Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, those are the greats. If you look at the not so greats like Jimmy Kimmel,
Very hurtful. I thought we were friends. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I didn't know he hosted anything. I had no idea. That's typical for Hollywood. Stand around and hand each other trophies all day. Look at how great I am. Peasants. Yes, Sylvester Stallone got a medal today. Looked like Gene Simmons got a medal. And who else? Oh, the country star. George Strait. They all got medals. Don't think it was a Medal of Freedom. It was something else. But I think all three of them I think they've earned it. But these other ones that just sit around and have parties about the Globe Awards, they used to be MTV Music Awards. I don't even know if they have those anymore, but they just all sit around giving each other awards, telling them how wonderful they are. Now, one thing I have heard today too, a lot of Republicans they're saying they're fixing to drop out of races or just retire and get out of politics in general. See if anything's going on. Nothing we hadn't already talked about. I don't think he's going to fire Cash Patel. They're saying he might fire him. I don't think he's going to. Because when you fire somebody, it's like admitting you can't pick good people to do a job. He does not like to admit he's wrong. Let's see, this is about 10. Let's see. This is another.
Today, you need to do more in the imaging lab.
It's about somebody on Tim Pool saying Charlie Kirk was gay.
Relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. Can you go to his Twitter account, by the way, and when he posts that? So he posts that, and let's see what the latest is. Go to see what's the latest he's given on what happened with him. Somebody stopped by his place, and he's been extremely critical. Zoom in a little bit, Rob. So there is a reason Barry Weiss, go a little bit lower. Reason Barry Weiss has to spend $10,000 per day on bodyguards. Okay, Congress, keep going lower. Keep going lower. Security believes that shots were fired. Okay, go in the comment section there. We're in contact with police and FBI. Thank you for everyone who reached out. If anyone has reached achieved Chicken City, the shots are audible. Unfortunately, we do not archive the live stream. There will be Friday night to midnight. So go a little bit lower to see what the market is saying about it. No BS, my head free. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, boom, guns, Tim Pool, lying. Okay, so the audience is giving him a hard time. Go back on previous tweets. Let's see what else we find. Go back on previous tweets. Is there anything else below it? Keep going, keep going, keep going. So that's down one. Is there anything else? Nothing he's shown. Everybody thought someone is trying to scare us, but he was a security guard and armed guard. Since we differed. Okay, you want to approach, open fire. No one was hurt. Click on the December 6th tweet. Go a little bit lower, Rob. That's the one that got 8 million views. Okay, so this is the one. So Megan Kelly, this is awful. So sorry. Keep going a little bit lower, lower. Started to happen. Everyone is okay.
You want to show that? Is this it?
Sexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird. And everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 SASs in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Student Action Summit.
But go ask her.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on, Milo.
Go ask her.
Scared of getting sued?
See?
You think so crazy. I'm sitting here like I am humbled by the Lord.
Wow.
And
George Santos is like, you're a liar.
Look, there's no teapots in this room right now to express how I feel.
George, I have said these things about people for 20 years and never once in my career been sued. I've issued 3 corrections in my entire journalistic career because I get my facts right and people know that they do not want to go through discovery.
Actually, I want to say this.
I've never been sued for anything I've ever said about anyone.
The one thing I need to say this. Because I'm right. The most terrifying thing about Milo is that he knows all your secrets. Oh no, he knows everybody's floor. Trust me. I am terrified of Milo.
So Benny Johnson, Rob, can you show Benny tweeted, and Benny said like I have no choice basically, and he has to go after him. Can you find that one, Robbie? Yeah. I think he said it. It was very recent.
Tweets a lot.
Oh yeah, jeez, he's out there.
Here it is.
Yeah. I'm duty bound to take action to protect my family against those who maliciously defame and attack us. More to come soon. Pray for the healing for some of these really sick, delusional people. Jesus is about redemption. The legal system is about justice. Happy Sunday. Did you see Milo's response? Milo responded to this, and it was
the comment section to see if there's maybe anything there that Milo maybe commented about.
Don't pray for your enemies. Laura Loomer saying, Ben Johnson, pray for your enemies to be destroyed and celebrate when they struggle. We don't have time for compassion for evil people. Break them down and conquer them with psychological warfare until they beg for mercy. Don't pray for them. Yeah, Milo's, I think, Robbie, I put it in our group chat that I put what Milo said, and it was Milo's basically.
Just go to Milo's account, see what Milo's saying. Maybe you'll find something if you go to
it's right here.
Okay.
Holy moly!
Oh
guys,
my God!
we're
not gonna read all of it.
The shorter version.
Yeah, exactly. He basically says to him and his wife, "I know more about defamation," and he says, "I know about more than your marriage than I think." He goes, "I know about nocturnal liaisons de generous." I don't know. He's speaking French, with chaps and assless chaps, and about being caught in flagrant delicto and conferences attended by students. Some of them. So basically, Milo's saying, if you want to bring it, because I have proof that Benny Johnson was.
I'm gonna back it up. That's a big article, and he only read a little tiny piece of it. Let me look at this real quick. See where his facts are coming from. I know more about your marriage than you think I do. I have evidence. I have witnesses. I know who to subpoena. I know what questions to ask about nocturnal liaisons, degenerates with chaps and assless chaps, being caught in flagrant dictato, and conferences attended by students, some who might have been under 18. Nobody cares about you, Kate. I say this. It was shitty of me to say you look old. I'm a shitty person. I'll delete that if you want. Quest Milo being Milo. In other words, if you want to sue me because during discovery, I'll bring out everything I know about you. And that is true. When you sue somebody and you go into discovery, you open yourself up to being investigated. That is totally true. That's why a lot of people don't sue, because it opens up a whole Pandora's box for them to look in your past. I mean, so yeah, that makes total sense. That's why all these big companies, you go to sue Walmart or somebody like that, these big companies, they don't want discovery. They want to pay you off, shut you up, and get you out the door. Saying Tyrus goes too hard. I'm trying to see what they're talking about. See what it says real quick.
And like this guy doesn't have to like those Somalian guys that much.
Yeah.
But you could be like, not my thing. That doesn't mean like I literally hate you. It seems so strange.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like, if you don't like the food, you can be like, this wasn't the best thing. I'm glad I tried it. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, this is the best food I've ever eaten in my whole life. I've never.
I mean, it's not like eggs where the chicken kind of goes all in. It's a pig. He went all out.
Yeah.
He left everything he could on that plate.
Yeah.
You know, in life, Greg, you got to ask yourself, are you the bacon or the eggs? You're going to go halfway or you're going to go all out? That's why you respect the baby pigs, because their sacrifices led to your success. So,
Thank you so much.
That's not what I thought it was. Good Lord, I can't show this to you because I'm on my phone, but serial killer realizes he's been caught 45 years later. It's old, but wow, I hadn't seen it. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting off here too. I got kids to get up tomorrow. I got one that's sick, and I've got some things to do tomorrow, and I'm gonna go to town and find me a decent internet connection. But anyway, y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. If Inverter World don't come up, I'll hit you up on X or something. And we'll throw something up. We'll figure out something. But y'all have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.